searching for the man, and getting frustrated by every dead end, growing angrier, and more appalled that he had been so absent and unfeeling that he had not been in contact with his own grandmother for years. What decent man would turn his back on the woman who'd raised him? Not a man Lee wanted to find. But a promise was a promise. Carefully, she picked her way along the narrow wooden steps. Glancing up, she stopped and stared. A tall lion of a man in a faded blue aloha shirt and khaki shorts blocked the top landing. Sun-streaked hair, too long to be businesslike. A scruffy three-day beard, all bronzed and hard-muscled. He was impossible to ignore, especially if you liked the type, which she most certainly did not. The lion was shaking out a match. A just-lit cigarette hung from the corner of his mouth. Seeing it, a tremor of distaste rippled through her. Didn't the restaurant have a no-smoking policy? Still, she couldn't help but watch as he took a draw on the cigarette. Exhaling, he descended the stairs, his deep-set blue eyes boring into hers. Giving him a cool glance, she climbed purposefully until she realized his territorial position on the stairwell did not afford room for him to pass without them touching. Too late, she shrank back, digging her hip into the railing. He stopped and grinned lazily at her, his cigarette clamped between even, white teeth. Through a curl of smoke, she caught a glint in his eyes. Of what? Amusement? Irritation? She wasn't sure which, and she didn't much care. She was travel-cranky and stressed out. Just let him try to mess with her. It would be a relief to unleash her temper on a deserving subject. He took the cigarette from his mouth with an annoyingly graceful swagger. "I won't bite," he drawled, his whiskey-rough voice dripping with deliberate sarcasm, and she shot him her best frosty glare. "Yeah, that's more than I need to know." His expression was impassive, but his eyes flashed in response. Lee looked away and took a step to sidle past. Their hips brushed. Just a feather touch, but she swayed precariously. He grabbed her wrist, steadying her with a strong brown hand that looked dark against her pale skin. A disturbing sizzle of electricity jolted up her arm. Leaning close, his breath hot at her temple, he purred, "Until I know you better, babe." "Babe?" She jerked her hand away as if she had been burned and rubbed her wrist. He chuckled and moved on down the stairs. A quiet sound at first, his rumbling laughter grew louder until it chased her all the way up to the second floor. Flustered, she looked around. No one was paying any attention to her, but she was still blushing furiously, and she felt like an idiot. Damn that man! Eager to lose herself in the crush of people, she claimed the last empty table at the back of the bar under the sprawling branches of an old banyan tree. She sank into a chair, and she took a deep breath, and then another, and another, trying to brush off the incident. Yet the lion man's image burned in her mind, embodying precisely what she disliked most about men in the tropics: lazy, self-indulgent arrogance. Finally, she began to breathe normally. Looking around, she saw that a small stage occupied a corner of the deck at the opposite end of the bar. A set had just ended, and 3 blonde musicians ambled toward the exit. Squinting, she stared. Was David Kearney one of them? In the glow of the fiery sky, Lee tried to discern their features before they disappeared, but no luck. "Hi there, I'm Willow. What can I get you?" The deeply tanned young server looked exotically carefree in the skimpy red sarong and minuscule top, her fair hair floating to her waist. Lee frowned. "I haven't decided." Willow smiled. "No problem, I'll check back." "Wait," Lee said. "Is the band returning?" Willow nodded. "Yeah, in 15. As the waitress walked away, the setting sun hit the watery horizon, and it filled the bar with refracting red and gold light. Lee scooted her chair